Hello, dear friends. Happy Life, chapter 143. Be a friend of truth, never using it as a weapon of destruction or offense. It is not so much what you say, but how you say it that produces good or bad results. Besides, yours may not be the real truth, but only a reflection of it. Even if you were the real truth, you have no right to brandish it for perturbing purposes. Before you assume the role of someone who corrects and teaches with the truth, put yourself in other person's shoes and your conscience will guide you in relation to the best way to proceed and express yourself. It's funny because this morning I did a lecture on happiness, and I did it yesterday, the same lecture. And in the conclusion of the lecture, we find out that one of the key elements for happiness is relationships. And then we talk about how we can maximize our happiness on this planet. And part of it is to, and the key of it, perhaps not part of it, but the whole thing about it is to practice God's laws as it applies to our relationships. And Joanna here brings one really important principle that is part of God's laws that if we pay attention and we apply will bring a lot of happiness to our lives because we'll improve significantly the quality of our relationships, which is being careful with what we say, particularly when we are sure that what we have to say is the truth, remembering that how we say the truth makes the whole difference in the world. And not always people are ready for the truth per se. Just like children, we can't tell children everything, all the truth, because their emotional system is not really ready to take it all in. They haven't had enough experiences to have them ready for certain things. Spiritually is the same thing. So another thing that Joanna talks about here is to think how someone would feel. How would we feel if we were listening to the things that we were saying? Would we feel diminished? Would we feel humiliated? Would we feel crushed? Would that truth disorganize us, right? How would that impact us? So taking that into consideration, putting ourselves on someone else's shoes is one of the greatest, if not the greatest rule and tip for relating. If we are looking to improving the quality of our relationships and also having happier days, a happier life with happier relationships, right? So taking into consideration someone else's feelings. It is very hard for us to hear sometimes the truth about ourselves. So delivering whatever we need to deliver with care, with love, with positivity, with constructive feedback, in the best possible way. If something is necessary to be said, it needs to be said, then it should be said. But again, it comes down to how we are saying, especially showing a place of concern and care, that you're coming from a place of concern and care as opposed to a place of criticism and judgment. That makes a huge difference on how the message is received by the other person. Speaking and giving your opinion about something as what it is, your perception and your opinion, and also approaching something, even if you think it's the truth, as not being the truth, because as Joanna says here, a lot of times we don't have really the truth. We have a reflection, we have a perception. Perhaps we have pieces of it, but we don't have the whole thing. So speaking about our experience, our perception, how we see something, doesn't mean that we are affirming that that is the truth, but our experience. This also helps people to receive the message without feeling attacked and without feeling, okay, you are right and I am wrong, without feeling diminished, and giving them an opportunity to reflect, because now they're not so defensive, not so close, and perhaps consider and reflect again on the things that we are saying. These are not so simple things, but that with practice and awareness and vigilance can make a huge difference in our relating, in our living, and in our happiness. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.